Hey everybody, T-Man again, bringing you guys another video. And once again, my 31 days of WrestleMania continues. But now we are now 28 days away till WrestleMania, and I'm bringing you my countdown of the best WrestleManias of all time in order, in my opinion, ranked all the way through. And here is number 28 on the countdown, counting down all the way to the number one. And before I get started, as you guys see in the thumbnail, this is WrestleMania 9 is 28 on my list, and I give you guys exactly the reason why I rank each and every WrestleMania the way I do, and I recap the whole card, reviewing the whole WrestleMania and reliving my childhood or where I was in my adulthood, depending on what year and what decade this WrestleMania is, and this one's WrestleMania 9. And before I get started, and here's the beauty thing about WrestleMania, different WrestleManias in your opinion may be ranked completely different than mine, because it all depends on when you were a fan, when you got started in wrestling, and when where it holds a place in your heart. Like WrestleMania 11, I ranked the 31st, the worst WrestleMania of all time. And all the WrestleManias are good, even the worst one. But, you got to rank them in a certain way. And I give you exactly the reason why I rank each one. And now for you, even though 11 might be my worst one, to you, it may be your favorite, your best WrestleMania of all time, because a certain storyline or a certain angle or something that happened in your life, it really reminds you of that time, and it holds a special place in your heart. And that's the beauty thing about WrestleMania. Everybody remembers where it is. It's always the biggest show if you're a wrestling fan. So, and I've been a fan through all 31 past WrestleManias, and I just give you guys where I rank it, because I've saw the whole lead up to every single WrestleMania. I've seen every single WrestleMania, and this is the reason why I rank them the way that I do. So now this one, if you guys missed the previous countdowns, number 31 was WrestleMania 11. Number 30 in my countdown was 16, and number 29 on my countdown was 22. And now here we are, 28 days away. Number 9. If you missed any of those videos, make sure you go on my channel and check out the previous reviews, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss all the way down to my number 1, because I got a lot of videos coming to you. And it's funny, number 20 I said was WrestleMania 29, and you know what, I was debating back and forth which WrestleMania to put. I was debating, the number 29, putting WrestleMania 9, and so pretty much 9 and 22 I was thinking about flipping back and forth. Number 29 I had 22, and now thinking about it, I should have maybe put WrestleMania 9 as the 29th, and maybe 22 as the 28th spot. But it's so hard, and I'll give you the reason why I chose WrestleMania 9 as 28. This was a very interesting time in the WWE. Okay, this was 1993, was WrestleMania 9, and we're talking about, this is coming off right off the Federation days. I mean, this is right off the edge of the Hulk Hogan era, okay? And Vince McMahon now, this is the transitional period between the Federation days and the new generation, was WrestleMania 9 here in 1993. But you still had a lot, like the tag team champions was Money Inc., Million Dollar Man, and IRS. This is like one of Million Dollar Man's last matches before he eventually starts his own stable and do the whole manager thing. I mean, this is towards the last days of this. And at the time, as you know, Bret Hart was the champion. A lot of people going into WrestleMania 9 maybe weren't watching that much and was completely surprised that he was a champion. And it was clear cut going into WrestleMania 3 that the two guys that Vince McMahon really wanted to push for the new generation was Bret Hart and Yokozuna at the time. You can clearly see that. And obviously they main evented WrestleMania 10, but Hulk Hogan ended the night, and we're going to talk about that, winning the title. And I'm going to talk about exactly why Vince McMahon did that. But this was so transitional, and I don't think he wanted either the heel Yokozuna winning the title, even though he knew that Yokozuna was going to dominate the whole year of 1993. Didn't want WrestleMania to end on that note, or Bret Hart. The safe bet was just to go with Hulk Hogan. It really was. The safe bet was just to go with Hulk Hogan. He's promoting Yokozuna and Bret Hart, but he just had Hulk Hogan, and Hulk Hogan ended up losing it a couple months later at King of the Ring back to Yokozuna. So let's recap the whole card real quickly. Shawn Michaels versus Tatanka. Tatanka wins by countout, and that was for the Intercontinental title. I think that was the very first time in WrestleMania that the IC title opened up WrestleMania. Then we got the Head Shrinkers versus the Steiner Brothers. The Steiner Brothers picking up the win here. And here, the Steiner Brothers was a big part of Vince McMahon's New Generation plan, even though they've been around a long time in WCW as a tag team, and Rick Steiner was around a lot longer than Scott. That was kind of their introduction, even though they didn't really last too long. Crush versus Doink the Clown. Doink the Clown picking up the win there. Razor Ramon. This is a match I completely forgot all about, and then when I was doing my research, I forgot all about this match. It was Razor Ramon versus Bob Backlund. Razor Ramon picking up the win there. And here we go. Hulk Hogan and Brutus the Barber Beefcake against Money Inc., $1 Million Man, Teddy B, Aussie, and IRS. And the IRS were the tag team champions, IRS and $1 Million Man, and they won by disqualification. Yeah, I mean, this was a way, I mean, at this point, you had to have, even though Hulk Hogan was pretty much semi-retired at this point. Hulk Hogan was semi-retired, but they, the card wasn't strong enough to not have Hulk Hogan on the card. And that's the reason why they used him the way he did in the tag team match, promoting him on the card, and then having him win the World Heavyweight title from Yokozuna. I mean, I think the plan was always to have Hogan walked away with the belt. That's why they had him drop the Yokozuna. But at the same time, Yokozuna was always the plan to be the dominant heel in that year. And then Bret Hart, chasing the World Heavyweight title. They already established them that, okay, now he's a World Heavyweight title contender now. And then 93 having him chase the whole year. Not to mention Lex Luger, which I get to him in the very next match. Lex Luger versus Mr. Perfect. And I'll tell you the quick story behind Lex Luger and Mr. Perfect. As we know, Mr. Perfect was the conceited, he did everything perfect. But Lex Luger kind of had the same gimmick when they first brought him in. He was the narcissistic Lex Luger, posed in the mirrors and all this other stuff. And the point behind this match was have Lex Luger being the one of the new faces of the New Generation, and kind of the new gimmick what Mr. Perfect had, being perfect and all, he's narcissistic, defeating and taking that mantle and having pretty much retiring Mr. Perfect at some point here in this match, and Lex Luger picking up the win here. But it was quickly right after that. After this, they completely shifted Lex Luger's character, and Vince McMahon, he sees those bodybuilders, that perfect look, and he tried building Lex Luger and Bret Hart into their main baby faces, and he did not know going all the way into WrestleMania 10 which one was going to be his main guy, and as history told, Lex Luger just didn't pan out, and they went with Bret Hart at WrestleMania 10. But Lex Luger, shortly after this narcissistic storyline did not last very often, because once SummerSlam came around, Lex Luger was already the red, white, and blue American tour. So moving on from there, the Giant Gonzalez, if you guys remember him, taking on The Undertaker, which was just a stinker of a match. And The Undertaker winning by disqualification. And again, Vince McMahon, his infatuation with the big man was the whole reason why these two guys got together. But match-wise, they stunk up the joint. Moving on, Bret Hart and Yokozuna for the world title. Yokozuna cheating against Bret Hart, picking up the win, which this was great storytelling. I mean, it may not be ranked high. Here you got Yokozuna picking up the win. Forget about the whole Hulk Hogan thing for a second. Yokozuna picking up the win over Bret Hart at WrestleMania 9. Then you move into WrestleMania 10, which I will reveal which number that is later. So stay tuned in my countdown for you to see where WrestleMania 10 places on my countdown. But I think this is great storytelling here. You got Yokozuna defeating Bret Hart, okay? Then you go into WrestleMania 10. Can Bret Hart beat Yokozuna now at WrestleMania 10? But now he has to deal with something emotional with his brother, with Owen Hart. He faces Owen Hart first. Loses. Goes on to WrestleMania 10 that same night. Faces Yokozuna in the main event after losing to his brother and regaining the title against Yokozuna, the man that beat him for that title. 1 year prior to WrestleMania 9. I love complete stories. So stay tuned for my WrestleMania 10 review, see where that ranks in my countdown. And then obviously Hulk Hogan picking up the win from Yokozuna. So there you have it. There's my review here of 28. Make sure you join me tomorrow. Remember, 27 days away from WrestleMania, and I reveal my 27th ranked WrestleMania, leading you down all the way to the day of WrestleMania, where I reveal my #1 pick. And also, guys, I do MMA videos as well, and of course a lot of other wrestling videos. The only days I really take a break from is on the weekend, but I am doing these videos on the weekends, these countdown videos, because every single day until WrestleMania you guys will get a video from me. So until then, make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos, and I'll see you guys next time. You guys take care.